What's going on, guys? So in this video, I guess you could call it a bonus part three of the Federal Trade Commission, BBB, and consumer finance. I know I didn't really even talk about the consumer finance almost at all, but I just brought it up as kind of part of the triple threat when you're trying to obviously get Walmart, Amazon's attention for a lot of different reasons. You know what I'm saying? So I did talk about some of the reasons, but I also wanted to kind of open that up. I'm not going to demonstrate anything unless you guys, I do get some requests for consumer finance, but the main purpose of this video is to just really inform and give you a little bit more enlightenment on just how valuable this can be in so many different ways. Because there's a lot of reasons why, obviously, you're getting your money held, you're locked out, even IP complaints, inventories held because of those IP complaints, because of a patent, because of this or that, temporary restraining order, whatever. Okay. And this is just important to know that, because I've done this for years. I invented this strategy. So this is where it's coming to the old days. I guess it's not really old, but 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, we were actually doing, where we're doing retail arbitrage, which we don't do anymore, but we were doing super, super heavy, high volume. And if you do retail arbitrage drop shipping or have done it, there's a lot of refund, return fraud, chargebacks, and little shenanigans that go on from buyers targeting and trying to obviously do some really shady stuff. You know what I'm saying? So and when that happens, obviously, you got to find answers. You got to be able to figure out if you can get if you can do the chargeback or not chargeback, but if you can actually dispute the charge and find other solutions if there's just so much going on. But one of the things that that really helped us is consumer finance. I know I'm on Federal Trade Commission, but consumer finance, where opening up a case for each and every order that was actually that was actually a return fraud or just a chargeback in general. When we have all the proof, we have everything there, and we're appealing, we're approving it to that particular. And it's not a lot of work that's this really put into it, but we are definitely giving them the benefit of the doubt and the proof that we delivered it. We're not responsible. It was Walmart are one of the. It really comes down to Walmart or whoever the supplier was at the time that is actually at the end of the day responsible. So they have to take response because we are just basically giving it to the customer. We're not the ones that are going to take the hit. We're just a small third party business, right? And so the big box company is the company that that they take that that full responsibility in that situation. And so that's one of the reasons why we actually got a lot of money back, thousands of dollars back. And not to go off on a tangent, I'm just trying to explain to you guys how this particular situation, this particular bureau, it was so powerful in a situation like that. And this was years and years ago, and it's still applicable today. So the cool part is obviously when you're looking at it from, Federal Trade Commission or a BBB, it's really just about getting, whether it's Amazon or Walmart's attention or the brand's attention, that's making like baseless IP complaints. It's really just getting about getting their attention. You do have to present all the documents. You do have to give, obviously all the proof. You do have to write the really good appeals and plans of action and stuff like that, which we do for you, if you guys use us. But the thing is this is where one of the biggest and hardest things about Amazon is, and Walmart is just really getting it to the right person because, when it's fourth quarter, especially, and they're just flooded, investigators just get, just super, just tunnel vision. They don't want to look at a bunch of stuff. If you didn't do a whole new appeal that just shows significant changes and whatnot, or just is really easy to read, they don't want to really read it, and it just makes it a big problem in that sense. A lot of times, it's also just if you're locked out, you don't have access to the account. You can't call seller help. You can't do a lot. You can't submit it through the actual appeal button. You only have the email, and you can't review a lot of information that's going on the account, and it really constricts us and you for doing our due diligence. So we need everything we got, right? So when the biggest thing with locked out accounts in general is just being able to obviously pound it in there via email case log, and if calling on the phone, trying to get manual internal escalations and whatnot. But this, and I mean all three of them. Okay, I don't just mean one. I think I maybe didn't specify the importance of actually submitting all three, because it just increases it just really increases your chances of them all kind of working in twine. That's or just in tangent, in tandem. Can't even talk, guys. But we definitely want to make sure that we do it all, and so when that's done, it just really gives that big, like, it just gives, like, Amazon and Walmart just so much more, I guess, a light, or like, you're getting so much more attention that's going to force them, okay, because they're getting charged when a case is opened up from consumer finance. And like, so every time that happens, they're just like, oh, we can't have this, we got to get this resolved. And they don't want anything to do with, or they don't want anything to deal with the Federal Trade Commission. So they're trying to get this resolved. So it's like, this is not something that is just like Amazon sees it, Walmart sees it, it's like, whatever. They care. Okay. So this is the best part about doing this, is because it's annoying for them. The more you might be like, this is annoying for me. Yeah, but not compared to what actually is going on. I mean, or how hard it really is to get a lot of these accounts, funds released and unlocked, and just anything. Considering how hard it is, in some cases, this is such a great resource to do in so many ways. So I just want to throw that out there so that we're all very confident, very just aware and informed on just how beneficial these types of bureaus really can be and are. Because I said in the last video, everybody keeps doubting it. Everybody keeps coming in and being like, does it really work? And it's like, just the Better Business Bureau alone, I'd say that the Better Business Bureau is probably the weakest one, because it's the least, I'm not going to say the least powerful, but it's just, they're not necessarily going to go above and beyond in some cases to really get that resolved. And it's not too big of a deal. I mean, it is a big deal, but it's not necessarily like it's not as big as like the Federal Trade Commission, or even consumer finance. Consumer finance is, of course, sometimes they'll actually escalate it to another bureau in some cases. But that's also good, because then it's like, it looks, when that other bureau sees that we're using consumer finance, it's like they're gonna even do an even better job, because it's like, okay, this person's contacting all these bureaus. They really want to get this resolved. And so that it's just really beneficial to make sure that this is added into almost every case. There's no harm in doing it in every case. I do think that it might be jumping the gun if we haven't obviously exhausted pretty much all resources, in a sense of just just the basic stuff. But if it's something where we are literally just we can't reach them, they're ignoring us, they're just constant denials, or we're not even getting any answers. It's just like we can't do anything. We're just dead in the water. That's where these types of bureaus become a absolute gem. So I really wanted to emphasize that. So I'm going to leave it at that. And I hope that video was a little bit more informative from the last. But yeah, I'll leave it at that, and have a good one. Thanks.